20 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, yo? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish, and I'm joined with Drew. And today we're going to be talking about Lovie Smith and giving him the credit he deserves. And before I start, if you like our content, please subscribe down below. It would mean the world to us. Without further ado, let's get back to the video. This whole season, the Texans defense has been playing better than expected. And overall, let me just give you the stats. They're about like middle of the pack in the league. Even though they're allowing giving up the most rush yards per game, they're allowing 20th in pass yards allowed, and they're fifth in the league in interceptions with 17 interceptions. Compared to last season, we only had 3 interceptions, and we're fifth in fumbles as well, 8 fumbles. And so overall, we're 6th overall in takeaways, so 25 takeaways and 9 in the last season. And we do allow 26.5 points per game, which is kind of at the lower end of the league. But he definitely deserves a lot of credit with what he's done with his team. And a lot of people are saying that he should stay for the next season. And I definitely agree with that statement as a defensive coordinator. And some people are even going as far as to say that he could be our next head coach. I don't know if I would go as far as to say that, but Drew, what are your thoughts on Lovie Smith this season?
I think he's done really good with what he's been given. You know, his defense was pretty much the worst defense in the entire NFL last season. That was pretty much the reason why we went 4-12. Of course, we had Deshaun Watson, had some weapons in Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, guys like that. And the offense was really, really impressive. And there was a lot of big moments where Deshaun tried to will the team back, but he couldn't quite do it because the defense wasn't really playing good enough. And I think Lovie Smith came in here, he kind of changed everything up. And I want to go over his scheme a little bit right now. The Texans run a 4-3 Tampa 2 defense where you have 4 defensive linemen. We have 3 linebackers, a Will, which is an outside linebacker, a Mike, which is a middle linebacker who plays the whole of the defense in the cover 2. And then you have a Sam, who is another outside backer who just plays the seams, similar to what the Will does. And of course, you have 2 corners, a free safety, and a strong safety. And I think normally we do see Justin Reed in that free safety role, and then we'll typically see Eric Murray or Jonathan Owens in the strong safety role. Of course, Terrence Brooks could always play that too. However, Justin Reed's the only one who's really stayed at free safety this whole time. Another really good thing that Lovie has implemented recently, or not necessarily recently, but ever since the Rams game at home, is when Tavierre Thomas moved into the nickel position. A little bit about Tavierre Thomas. He is the #1 ranked run defender at the cornerback position. I believe it's like 89.1 was his grade, but that's first overall. He's the 8th ranked PFF corner, I believe. I'm not sure if that's for dime or nickel or whatever it is, but Tavierre Thomas has been a really key part of his defense so far. He moved Desmond King to the outside, and he kept Terrence Mitchell there, who was starting alongside Vernon Hargreaves. And then, of course, he moved Lonnie Johnson back to corner. So he's really changed things up. And he's also created more of a turnover culture. It's something he's pretty much preached his entire coaching career. And when he started in Tampa Bay, he created that Tampa defense, Tampa 2 defense. And of course, he was the head coach of the Chicago Bears, who was also a very turnover-heavy team. And he went to Illinois. That didn't really work out. But he came to the Texans, really changed things around. And a couple other stats here. He has created a little bit of a difference here. 3.5 less points per game. It was recently at 29 points per game last season. It's now at 26.5. And then, like you said, we're 8th in takeaways per game. I believe we have like 17 interceptions, a bunch of forced fumbles too. And another thing Nick Caserio has actually preached, his model to winning games is winning in the turnover margin. And the Texans are actually winning in the turnover margin by just 0.2. And I think that's really impressive that we've even been able to do that with the record that we have. But Lovie Smith has been really good. He's really changed the culture around here. And I feel like even if David Culley gets let go after the season, I'm sure that Tim Kelly will probably get let go after the season. Lovie Smith is one of those big positives that you have to keep around here. Keep building off of that. Let more people come in, learn this game. Let more talented young players learn this game a little better. And this defense could really be dominant for years to come.
Yeah, you made a great point about about the coaching staff. Like him, Pep Hamilton have definitely earned spots for next season. as far as like what they've done so far with what they're given, and as far as talent wise, this upcoming draft is, in my eyes, should be mainly defense. And in the top three, I don't see a offensive player really going off the board. Maybe Evan Neal, but it's looking to be a mainly defensive draft for us specifically. And if we get someone like Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson or Kyle Hamilton, Stingley, Sauce Gardner, whatever you name it, whoever you name, we're going to get an infusion of talent on the defense. It's what I'm hoping for sure, and it'll be interesting to see what Lovie Smith will do with that much talent around him. And also, one thing to note is Jonathan Grinnard's underrated breakout season this season. He's playing out of his mind, and I think he's like fifth or very high in the sack leaderboard. Um, he's had an outstanding season so far, and you could probably credit Lovie Smith for that as well. And Ross Blacklock is looking like a better prospect than he was last season, so he's looking good. And then like Roy Lopez is looking amazing. Garrett Wallow has shown some flashes, so a lot of positives here for Lovie Smith. And yes, we are pretty like we are allowing a lot of points, of course, and a lot of yards, but I think give Lovie Smith another chance and see what he can do with more talent around him. And at first, I thought he would be pretty rigid in his Tampa 2 scheme. Like you said, we're only going to run Tampa 2. But he's done a great job in adjusting to that, and kind of putting players in pretty good positions to make a play. So we'll see what the future holds for Lovie Smith. But do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, just keep adding people in, get people in here, learn the scheme because I feel like you said about Ross Blacklock, he was kind of forced to play the 3-4 defensive end under the system that we had last season. He didn't really project as that. I feel like he projected as more of a three tech defensive tackle in a 4-3 scheme, which is what I'd say that he's playing right now. He hasn't been too amazing, but he hasn't been bad whatsoever. He's made some plays. I feel like if you keep putting players in the right position, like Lovey's been able to do, it's gonna really, really help the development of our players, especially the young ones that we could be getting in the upcoming draft.
And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your thoughts on Lovie Smith so far. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.